I always categorized my identity as unchangingly singular. It wasn't until I worked at the Washington State Commission on Asian Pacific American Affairs that I realized Pacific Islander identity was mine to claim. Why was Filipino, sometimes Asian, sometimes Pacific Islander, sometimes both, and sometimes neither? I was shocked to realize that my conception of self, my racial awareness, was arbitrarily orchestrated. To think that when I looked in the mirror, the words I used to describe my own body originated in someone else's mouth. To think that someone else had the power to legislate my body. If public policy withheld and erased an entire side of my ancestry for 19 years, I spent the next year scrounging, trying to figure out what else has policy taken from me. My migration story, my words, how I understand society can all be attributed to policy. Policy has long been the invisible force dictating the movements of my people to how I identify my body. My body is a testament to law and policy, colonization 3 times over, Immigration Act of 1965, census categorization, and an ethnocentric education where my ancestors' entire history was reduced to a single paragraph. Born on American soil, I waited a lifetime to set foot on my own motherland. I was able to see what my life could have been like had my parents chosen not to immigrate. I realized that my life is an extension of my parents' migration story. I also realized that my life is a consequence of the policies I was born under. It's the simple things, like my given name, pangalan ko. In the Philippines, mothers often give 6 names to their children. The names of 6 ancestors you will bring with you, that you will carry with you. I didn't fit America's expectation of first, middle, last. Lucky, Louie, Tan Vital. Firstborn in the promised land, please distort the gift of your mother. Please write your first, middle, and last name here initial. Please pick and choose which ancestors are worth bearing, to be more palatable to an American system that does not accommodate your existence. I now christen you Louie Tan Vital, and the same voice immigrants use to memorize the order of US presidents who don't believe Filipinos are capable of self-governance. The same tongue immigrants use in vain attempt to spit out the sound of the motherland and wipe the brown out of their skin. They are first, we are last. I recognize now the ways America cannot accommodate me, how it cannot contain me. But I am beginning to understand how it created me. As public administrators, I think oftentimes we forget the intentional and unintentional hierarchies that we have built to structure society around us. Who is first? Who is in the middle? Who is last? But we are worth more than a single paragraph manufactured racial identity, the 3 names I am trapped inside, my body as sexual assault statistic, my body as a recipient of policy, my body always the recipient of policy. Will I ever have the power to legislate my own body? When can I create my own realities the way your proposals and amendments shape the very realities of those who do not have a choice but to exist under them? For our children to exist under your policies. For our children's children to exist under your policies. How our children's children may come and pass by your policies will be memorialized in a way my body will never be. So build a statue to commemorate how America's compounded racist policies erected to give face to institutionalized racism, how Jim Crow is continuously resurrected as regressivity. Racism is intergenerational. Policy as intergenerational. We created who is first, middle, and last. We have the power to create with our words. We have the power to create realities. We are creating with our proposed numbers. In this room, we are lawmakers, administrators, and advocates. Our words can build, and our words can destroy. Remember this. When we're remember what we are creating and who we are creating. Yes, the budget matters, as do the lived realities the budget creates. Thank you.